I want to thank you, Lord, again for this time. And God, at this time, God, we want to hear your voice. So God, I pray, Father God, that as we go through the book of Judges, chapter 19, 20, and 21, God, may you speak truth, God, into us. God, I pray, Father God, that you will help us, Father God, to do, God, what is right in your eyes, God, and not in our eyes. And God, we help us, Father God, to confirm to the pattern of the world. But Lord, we do, God, we do. God, we love you, we thank you again. Pray and pray. Amen. Today we're finally going to be finishing up with the book of Judges. We're going to be covering 3 chapters. Chapter 19, 20, and 21. We first started the series in Judges back in June, but finally we'll be able to finish today. So again, Judges chapter 19, 20, and 21. I'm pretty sure most of you guys here are fans of Disney movies, right? Am I right? I'm pretty sure, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's like 1 or 2 people that might say, I don't really like Disney movie. But I'm pretty sure everyone growing up, you guys love Disney movies. One of my favorite movies of all time is Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. And when I think about Disney movies, I think one of the main reasons why people like Disney movies, do you know why? Why do you think people like Disney movies? Happy what? Actually, pretty good. Happy ending. What else? Cheesy. Some of them. Okay, happy ending for sure. And I think another reason why people like Disney movie, because whenever you watch Disney movie, in a way, it kind of gives you hope. Right? Let me give you some examples. If you remember the movie Little Mermaid, right? Ariel, she's a princess, she's a fish, but what's her dream? She dreams of one day walking on land. Right? Eventually, by the end of the movie, as you know, she gets feet and she starts walking. Beauty and the Beast. Beast, he falls in love with a beautiful girl by the name of Belle, and later on, they kiss and then they get married. Aladdin is a poor person, he's a peasant, but he's a good, kind-hearted thief, right? Kind of weird, but he's a good, kind-hearted thief. But at the end, Aladdin, he ends up marrying Jasmine. And Simba, what happens to him? He has a dream. One day he wants to become the king, and he becomes the Lion King. Nemo, what happens to Nemo? He wants to find home. Eventually, he finds his way home. Andy and Woody, what happens? They finally reunite at the end, right? Whenever we watch Disney movie, it kind of gives us hope. And just like what Adam talked about, right? It has a happy ending. But think about it. Would you still enjoy watching Disney movie if at the end of the movie, instead of the movie giving us hope or having a happy ending, what if the movie ended in a very sad, depressing note, right? What if Ariel at the end, she remains a fish? Instead of the beast marrying Belle, what if the soul, he ends up marrying the soul, right? Or what if Simba gets killed by his uncle? What if Olaf, right, he melts and the snowman, he dies? What if Jasmine ends up killing Aladdin? And what if Nemo gets eaten by, a man or a fish, whatever, right? No one likes sad ending, right? We enjoy happy ending. But here's something very unique about today's passage. When you look at today's text, when we study the Word of God for today, you know what? At the end, we're gonna be left with thinking, what the heck? What the heck did just happen? Right? We're gonna end the story in a very depressing way. Today, again, we're going to be concluding the book of Judges. And what's interesting about today's passage is this. The start of today's passage in chapter 19, verse 1, and the end of today's passage, the final verse of Judges chapter 21, 25, right, is very similar. Can we get the slide up? Let's read the first one together. Judges 19, verse 1. On 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. In those days, when there was no king in Israel, ... So, right, in the beginning, right, so from the start of today's chapter, right, we start in a very sad note. You see that people, they don't have a king, and because they don't have a king, they do whatever they think is right in their own eyes. And what the author of Judges is trying to say is this: maybe if we do have a king, right, maybe things would be better. Instead of people doing whatever they want in their own eyes, if we have a king, maybe things would turn out a little bit better. And again, at the very end of Judges chapter 21, verse 25, it says this: in those days, there was no king in Israel. Again, it's very similar from down chapter 19, verse 1. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. Again, here's something very interesting about today's passage. Today's passage is actually considered one of the darkest passages in the Old Testament. Today's passage is considered one of the darkest passages in the Old Testament. And I say Old Testament and not the New Testament. Why? Let me ask you. What is the darkest story in the Bible? Old and New combined.
Jesus is dead.
Right, exactly. When Jesus died on the cross. Right? But I think maybe this will be maybe second to it. Right? Today's passage is actually very dark. Again, we're going to be covering chapters 19, 20, and 21. In today's passage, we will see violence. We're going to see people getting raped. We're going to be seeing homosexuality. We're going to be seeing people getting revenge, people kidnapping, people murdering each other. Right? Why? Why is all this happening? Again, very clear. Because everyone did what was right in their own eyes. People didn't do what was right in God's eyes, but they did what was right in their own eyes. They did whatever they wanted to do. So again, please turn with me to Judges chapter 19. When we're not going to read all the verses because it's actually too long. We're only going to pick a couple verses to read. But let's start by reading together verses 1 through 4. Let's have the brothers read the odd and sisters. You guys read the even. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
In those days, when there were no king in Israel, a certain Levi was sojourning in his people from the hill country of Ephraim, who took himself a concubine from Bethlehem in Judah. And after her, to speak kindly to her and bring her back. He had his servant a couple of donkeys. She brought him into her father's house, and her father's
Alright, so in today's passage, we read about a certain Levi. And before I go on, please don't get this Levi confused with the Levi that we talked about last week. Right? Last week we talked about Levi, shady Levi. Can anyone remember the Levi's name from last week? Who is he? Grandson of who? Last week's guy. Grandson of Moses. His name was Jonathan. But this is a different Levi. Right? Last week we know that the Levi that we talked about is very shady. But today's Levi, guess what? He's even more shadier, if that makes sense. Right? He's not only shady, but he's also a coward. And this guy is very, very evil. He's very, very evil. Right? Let's take a look at what he did. First of all, he's a Levi. He's a Jew. He should be obeying. He should be obeying the commandments of God. The first thing that we see is that this guy is a sinner. Why? Because he has a concubine. Right? He has a concubine. What does that mean? Does that mean he has one wife, more than one wife? Take a guess. Right? More than one. She is not his main wife, but he has another wife, right? A concubine. Right? And something interesting happens with this concubine. Right? In the text it says that she was unfaithful to him. And usually in our context, when we think about someone that's being unfaithful, we think about someone that cheated on the husband or cheated on the wife, right? So we automatically assume, okay, this concubine, I know that she's a concubine, and at this time, she's a concubine because of that. She doesn't have a full right as a wife, so maybe she's treated as a second citizen. So maybe she went off and she did something shady. No. That's not what this verse is saying, right? She is unfaithful. Why is she unfaithful? It's because of this. Because she was a concubine, she didn't have the full right at the time, right? She couldn't go outside of her home as whenever she wanted to. She needed permission. But because we're going to find out soon, right, this Levi, the man that she's married to, is very shady. So obviously she doesn't want to stay with him. So what does she do? She goes away to her parents' house and she stays there for 4 months. And because she leaves home, right, the text is saying because she leaves home, that she is unfaithful. So again, we need to know that she doesn't do anything shady, like cheating on her husband or anything. But she is called unfaithful because she goes off and stays with her parents for 4 months. And finally, what happens? The Levi goes, oh man, man, you know what? I need to get my wife back. So he goes to his in-laws to bring her back. And when he goes to bring her back, something interesting happens. Right? He goes there, and the father-in-law is very polite, very hospitable. And he goes to the Levite, hey man, son-in-law, you know what? I want you to stay here in my house and you'll stay another night. So the Levite is like, okay, all right, father-in-law, I'll stay one night. And then one night becomes 2 nights, 2 nights becomes 3, 3 nights becomes 4, 4 nights becomes 5 days. Finally, the son-in-law is like, dude, father-in-law, you know what? I had enough. I gotta get going, right? And during that time, the Levite, he talks to his concubine, and they work things out. And she said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go back home with you, right? And this idea of the father-in-law being very hospitable is actually very important in today's text, right? Think about that. I want you guys to remember this. Being hospitable is actually very important in today's text. Actually, being hospitable was actually very normal during this time, right? During the Near Middle East at this time when this text was written, right? Everyone, right? They should be hospitable. This was the norm, right? It's kind of like this. When your parents are growing up, I'm pretty sure a lot of them grew up in Korea, right? If they went to Shigor, if they went to a countryside, what did they expect? They expect people to be very hospitable, right? They expect people to give them like oksuku and like different stuff, right? Offer them free food, offer them free drink. Same idea. As you know, last month I went to Kenya, and when I went to Kenya, people in Kenya, they're very, very hospitable. Almost every house that I knocked on, everyone said, please come in. They offered us drink, food, right? It's the same idea. People then, they're very, very, very hospitable. So on the 5th night, the son-in-law is like, father-in-law, forget this. I gotta get going. I'm really late, right? But the dad is like, I want you to stay another day. He's like, no, I really have to get going. So on the 5th day at noon, Levi and his concubine and his servant and the 2 donkeys that he brought, he said, you know what, you gotta get going. So on noon, he takes off to go home. But as you could guess, because he started the journey during noontime, he couldn't make it to home, right? So they're going, and it's about to become night. And the servant goes to his master, the Levite, and he goes to him and says, hey, master, you know, I have an idea. You know, it's kind of get dark soon. Why don't we just go into one of the towns, right? Why don't we just go into one of the towns and just stay there overnight? And he said this, let's go into the town of Jerusalem. And the master goes, Levi goes, you know what? No. We're not going to go into the town of Jerusalem. Why? Because that town is a Gentile town, right? We're Jews, we're Israelites. We should not be going into the Gentile town, right? Because first of all, if I do, they become unclean. And not only that, you know what? People there, you know, I don't trust them. They're not safe. They're not one of us. So they go a little bit further and they see another town. And the Levite goes, you know what? We're actually going to camp here and we're going to stay in this town. We're going to stay in the town of Jibisha. Why? Because here, the people are Jewish. Right? In this town, the tribe of Benjamin, they live here. Because they're Jews and because I'm a Jew, you know what? I'm going to feel very safe here. So that's what they decide to do. So they go into this town, and you know what they do? They go to the town square, and they just camp out in the town square. They wait for people. Now think about it. Why do you think this Levi, his concubine, and his servant, and the 2 donkeys, were just chilling at the town square? Why do you think they're just waiting? Why? As I mentioned, during this time, people were very hospitable. Especially if you guys are from the same tribe, you know what? Or same country, same Israelite, even more hospitable. So as they're waiting there, they assume, they expect fellow Israelites to come, even though they're not from the same tribe, they expect fellow Israelites to come and offer them food, offer them water, and a place to stay. But something interesting happened. It becomes nighttime, and no one talks to them, and everyone in town, they just walk by them, and nothing happens. Right? This should have been a clue for them to be like, oh, something about this town is very strange. Right? People here, they're not hospitable. They should be, but they're not. Right? They should have set an alarm off, but they don't. They just wait. And finally, an old farmer from town, he comes in, and he looks at the people and goes, you know what? I'm going to take you guys in. Right? So we're going to continue on from verse 22. Let's all read verse 22 together in one word. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
As they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men in the city, worthless fellows, surrounded the house, beating on the door. And they said to the old man, the master of the house, bring out the man who came into your house, that we may know him.
Alright, so this portion is actually very short. So what happens? Levi, the concubine, the servant, donkeys, right? They get treated pretty well by the old man. He offers them food, he washes their feet. Even the donkeys, they get water. And in the middle of the night, as they're about to sleep, something weird happens, right? Bunch of thugs, bunch of gangsters, bunch of wannabes, okay, not wannabes, but you know what I mean, tough guys, they come, they surround the house of the old man, and they start banging on the door. And what they say, this is what they say. As they're banging on the door, they say, bring out the man who came into the house. We want to know him. Right? And when you see this, you're thinking, okay, Hashem, the people in the town, they come to him, and they want to get to know the Levi, right? But maybe you're thinking about the idea of knowing, knocking on the door. Hey, welcome to town. My name is so-and-so. Hey, Levi, we welcome you. I want to get to know you. Tell me about yourself. It's not that kind of knowing that the Bible is talking about. But the kind of knowing that the Bible is talking about is knowing that we usually see in the book of Genesis when we know Abraham knew his wife kind of knowing. Right? So in other words, this does the city, what do they want to do? They want to have a homosexual, sexual relationship with the Levi. So they bang on the door and they say, you know what? Come out because we want to rape you. Again, this is one of the darkest passages in the Bible. They bang on the door and pretty much they tell them, you know what? Come out. Why? So that we could rape you. If you hear this story, maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, the story sounds very similar to another story that's in the Bible. Can anyone take a guess? What similar stories have you guys heard of in the Bible that are very similar? Where people, the men of the city, they bang on the door and they want to have homosexual relationship with one person. In the book of Genesis, chapter 19, exactly right, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? This story is actually very, very similar to that story. Again, the men of the city, they bang on the door and they tell them, you know what, come out, right? We want to have sex with you. Why is this happening? Because people, they did what was right in their own eyes. They didn't care about God. They didn't want to study the Word of God, right? Even though they call themselves Israelites, they have nothing to do with God. They did what was right in their own eyes. So eventually, again, as I mentioned, this Levi is very shady. He's a coward. He's very evil. Why? This is what he does. People in the city, they're banging on the door saying, hey, Levi, come out. We're going to rape you. What does he do? To save himself, he seizes his wife, his concubine, and he throws her out the door. What a shady man, right? He, to save himself, he throws his wife outside the door so that the men of the city can rape her. Right? Very graphic, very evil story that is told here in the situation. So what happens? If we go to verse 25, I don't think I put it up, but I'll just read it to you. Verse 25, it tells us, and they knew her, which means that they had sexual intercourse with her. They abused her, not for like a short time, but it says they abused her for all night until morning. And as dawn began to break, they finally let her go. This Levi, he tells his wife, get out of here. You know what? I gotta save my butt. I want you to go out and go. So she goes out, and from night until morning, right, she gets raped over and over and over again, gang raped by the men of the city. Meanwhile, the shady, evil Levi, that's what he did. Do you think his concern is like, oh my gosh, I'm such an evil person. I let my concubine go out, I can hear them. Right? No. The text tells her that he actually went to sleep. Even in this crazy situation, you know what? Somehow he didn't care, right? Somehow there was peace in his heart and he slept. Next morning, finally, when they were done, you know what? She was left in the front of the door. And you know what the text tells us? Instead of him, even though maybe he slept, maybe he was really tired, he got up super early, no, he doesn't say that. He said that he actually woke up later on in the day. So he doesn't just sleep for like an hour or 2 or 3 hours, but he sleeps late into the morning, into daytime, and he finally gets up and he sees his concubine at the doorstep, and this is what he says. He doesn't go, I'm really sorry, are you okay? Are you alive? Instead of saying that, this is what he said. Get up, let us be going. Get up, let's get going. Let's get out of here. That was his response to her. So if you think about it, think about it. The men of the city that's raping the concubine, of course they're evil. Right? They're evil men in the city. But I also believe that this Levi is also equally as evil for the things that he did or the things that he didn't do. Right? This Levi is a shady person, he's a coward. Again, why is all these things happening? The book of Judges, it talks over and over and over again. People did what was right in their own eyes. They didn't care about God, but they did what they thought was right in their own eyes. If Levi, he thought it was right that he saved himself, this is what he decided to do. And the story goes on, and it actually goes crazier than this. So the Levi, he gets the concubine, and he puts her on the donkey, and they travel home, and they finally get home. And once they get home, this is what the Levi realizes. The Levi, he realizes that his concubine, because she was raped all night until morning by a group of men, right? I'm not talking about one or two, I'm talking about the entire city, they raped her. Because of that, she is dead. Finally, when they get home, she gets home. You realize that, oh man, she was dead all along. She was dead from the beginning. So what does he do? Instead of repenting, instead of crying, right? Instead of having even a little bit of remorse, you know what he does? He takes out a knife, right? It gets very graphic. He takes out a knife and he starts cutting her body into 12 pieces. Chop, 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 chop. 12 pieces. Why do you guys think that he chopped her body into 12 pieces? When you think about the number 12 in the Bible, especially the Old Testament, what comes into your mind?
Disciples.
Right, the 12 tribes of Israel. So what is this guy doing? The word cut that is used here is actually the same word that is used when people are cutting sacrifice. Right? And something similar happened in 1 Samuel 11:7, when Samuel, right, he cuts up an animal on the oxen and he sends it out to 12 tribes. He said, you know what? I need backup. Right? So he had a similar idea. He cuts up his dead wife and he sends it out to the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Even to the tribe of Benjamin. Right? Even to the tribe of Benjamin that did all the shady stuff, he even sent it to them. And the idea behind this is this. Israelites, look what the tribe of Benjamin did. They're shady. They killed my wife. They had sex with her. They raped her over and over again. And finally, she died. Again, when he sent his limbs out, obviously, he didn't tell them the story. He didn't tell them that, they wanted him, but he was a coward. He didn't tell them about the part where they fought, where she went to her father-in-law. Nothing about that is mentioned. But he sends out the limbs, and the 12 tribes of Israel, they receive. Imagine you're one of the 12 tribes of Israel. What would you do? In your mailbox, you open up mail and you receive a mark, or a face, or a leg, right? Of course, you'll be shocked, and after reading about what had happened, you'll be angry, you'll be outraged, right? So it goes on in chapter 20. What happens? In chapter 20, you see that the tribe of Israel, okay, of course not the Benjamin, but 11 tribes of Israel, right? They're angry. Why? Because this poor woman, a concubine, was brutally raped over and over and over again in the hands of the Benjamins. So what do? They say, you know what? We need to fight, we need to go, we need to kill the tribe of Benjamin. So what happens? They gather up men from the 11 tribes, and a lot of people actually gather. It says that 400,000 men gathered. 400,000 people that load weapons, so obviously they're soldiers, they're trained, right? they go and they fight the tribe of Benjamin. And the tribe of Benjamin, they gather up 26,000 people, and they also gather up 700 special left-handed people that are really good at like aiming and like slingshot, right? So 400,000 people, they go and they buy 26,700 men from the tribe of Benjamin. Think about this. And because the tribe of Benjamin, they had a chance to, I guess, give up the men that gained weight, the concubine, but they don't. They're like, oh, I forget you, man. They're our people, they're our tribe, but you can't mess with them. That's their idea. So what happens? Because of this, they go into a civil war. And because of the civil war, as a result, thousands and thousands and thousands of people die. By the time that the war ends, something very interesting happens. And again, all this started, why? Because Israel did evil in the sight of God. They did what they wanted to do, what they thought was right in their own eyes. Now we come to chapter 20, verse 47. Chapter 20, verse 47. By the end of the civil war, you know what happened? The tribe of Benjamin, they get owned. They get destroyed. Men, women, children, grandma, it doesn't matter. Every single people in the tribe of Benjamin died, except for 600 men. And this 600 men, they survived. So what do? They go up and they hide in the cave. And something interesting again, it happens. Right? Again, this tribe, they did something very shady. They raped a woman. Right? That's how the war started. Right? They're now hiding. And that's why the 11 tribes, they go and they battle them. Right? And something silly happens. Towards the end, this is what happens. The remaining 11 tribes of Israelites, they talk to themselves and they go, oh my gosh, we feel so bad for the tribe of Benjamin. Man, we killed every one of them. There's no women, there's no children. The only people that are left in the tribe of Benjamin are the 600 men. And they're like, oh man, we feel really, really, really bad. Why? Because this is what they said. In chapter 21, verse 1, right, they made a vow to God and they said this. You know what? None of the tribe, the 11 tribes, will ever give their daughter to a tribe of Benjamin. So they're thinking, oh man, we feel so bad. Why? There's 600 people left out of thousands, no woman, nothing. We made a promise that we're not going to give our daughters to them. Meaning, how will they continue their family life? They're thinking, oh man, we feel bad. Why? Because the tribe of Benjamin, you know what? They're going to be wiped out. They're going to be gone. So what do? They complain to God. Right? They take the anger out, they take the frustration out on God. Again, it was sin that brought this situation in the first place, but instead of realizing that it was sin, they complained to God by saying, God, why has this happened in Israel? God, why would you let this happen? God, why did you do this? Again, they start pointing fingers at God. So this is what they do. The remaining 11 tribes of Israel, they come with a plan, right? And this plan is so stupid if you think about the reasoning behind it, right? But we'll go into it. They come up with the plan, and this is the plan they took. They gathered the 11 tribes of Israel, and this is what they said. All right, everyone, let's see through our records and see who came to war and who didn't. So they go through each tribe, each family, each town, and they finally realize, oh man, there's actually one city, one town that did not come to battle with us. So they're thinking, like, you town, even though you're a part of us, right? You're not from the tribe of Benjamin, but you didn't come and fight with us. You know what? We're gonna treat you as safe as the Benjamin. So what do? Again, this 11 tribes, they're sad that only 600 men are left. And because they didn't come and help them, right? It's stupid logic, but this is what they do. They go and they kill everyone in that city. Every man, every children, every old people, and the only people that are left are 400 young virgins. And obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys know where the story is going, and this is what they do. The 400 virgins that are left, the 400 young women that are left in the city, they take them, they capture them, they kidnap them, and they give them to the 600 men of Benjamin. How sad is this? Think about it. If you recall, the very reason why they went into war in the beginning was because the concubine of the Levite was raped over and over and over again. And they're like, oh my gosh, how could you rape her? How could you kill her? Right? So they go, they fight, they kill everyone except for 600 men. But now they're doing the same thing to the people of the city. They go, they kill everyone, and literally they capture everyone, they kidnap everyone, and they give them to the men of Benjamin. They do exactly the same thing that they did before. And now they're thinking, okay, good. The 600 men of Benjamin, now we gave them 400 virgins. So they 400 of them, they could get married and they could, do whatever they want. They could make the family line of the tribe of Benjamin go on and on. But now they're thinking, oh man, we feel bad. What about the remaining 200 people that are left? So they come up with another plan and they say that, alright, there's a city called Shiloh, and in this city, there's a festival going on. And whenever there's a festival going on, people are going to come, they're going to sing and they're going to dance. And they tell the 200 men, you know what? This is what we're going to do. You go into the city of Shiloh, and I want you to camp out. I want you to hide in the bushes. I want you to hide in the roadside. And whenever you see a young woman, a virgin that's walking by, and she's just celebrating and dancing, you know what? We're going to turn our eyes. You can go and you can kidnap her, and you can make her into your own wife. How depressing is that? How sad is that? But the sad thing about the book of Judges is this. This is how this book ends. Right? It ends in a very, very sad note. And soon after this, a few verses after that, it ends by saying this. Judges 21:25, right? In those days, there was no king in Israel. Right? We heard that over and over and over again. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. But here's the sad thing. People in the book of Judges, they did what is right, what was right in their own eyes. But if you actually open up your eyes and if you see the people around you, if you read the newspaper, if you turn on TV, you'll also realize that so many people, even now in our day and age, they do what is right in their own eyes. Right? We hear about crazy news, crazy stories that happen all the time. Right? People getting killed, people getting raped. Right? Crazy stories happen to us all around. I was actually thinking about whether I should share this or not, but I was like, maybe I should. About 8 years ago, when I was a pastor, before I came to this church, I was an elementary pastor. And when I was an elementary pastor, I experienced a very shocking news. So when I was an elementary student, I did upper elementary. I had a student, a 5th grader, and he recently came from Korea, maybe about 4 months or 4 to 3 months before. And on one of the Friday nights, I received a call from the guardian of the student, and she said, Jacob, you need to come to the police station because the kid, right, the 5th grader, he's arrested, right? They took him away. He's locked up in the police station. So I was like, what the? And I drove to the police station, and this is what I found out. So because this kid was new from Korea, right, he couldn't apply to the school system right away, so he had to wait a couple months. And before he actually started the school system, he was just home every day doing nothing. So we have one of the teachers, that was an actual LAUSD school teacher, she was a kindergarten teacher, and she was also helping out at the church, and she was like, I feel really bad for this boy because she's always helping. So he talked to her, she talked to him and said, I'm gonna help you learn English, and this is what you're gonna do. A couple times a week, I'll let you come into my classroom, and you could be a TA for, our school. Right? So actual LAUSD public school. And I'm a kindergarten teacher, I want you to come in, I want you to just help, folding papers, cleaning things up. So this is what he did for a couple of weeks. And this is what happened while he was there. This kid was only a 5th grader at the time. I'm not talking about a college kid or high school or junior high kid. This 5th grader, as he was volunteering with kindergarten students for the few weeks that he was there, he was actually sexually molesting the students without the teacher knowing. And that day, when I received the call saying he's arrested, he's come, and like find out what happened. When I go there, this is what the police they found out. That morning, he had two of the kindergarten students come in with him, right, to the bathroom, right? And inside the bathroom, he had then get undressed, and to each other, he had then perform sexual acts on each other. And finally, when the students came home, they're like, oh yeah, mommy, daddy, what happened? I'm talking about kindergarten, like 4-year-old, 5-year-old. So finally, he got arrested and he was locked up. And later on, as the police were doing investigations, this is what they found out. Again, this kid was only a 5th grader. But they found out that starting in 2nd grade, he got into pornography. Right? Parents were divorced, they didn't really care about it. So I don't know why anyone would do this. But they let a 2nd grade boy just go out and do whatever they did. And in Korea, there's a thing called PC방. And he would just go there, PC방, and smoke like that, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. as a 2nd grade boy. Right? So starting 2nd grade, he got into pornography, and by the time he was in 3rd grade, he started sexting his friends and sending pictures of themselves naked. So starting young, right, this thing it happened. Again, we live in a broken world. Why do we have so much pain, so much hurt, so much evil? Of course, the issue is sin, and a lot of times this happens because people. They do what is right in their own eyes. We do what we want to do, and we don't care about what God tells us to do. Again, the book of Judges, it ends like this. In those days, there was no king in Israel, and everyone did what was right in his own eyes. So if you read this, maybe you caught on. The problem with the book of Judges is this. The author of Judges is actually thinking, you know what? We have a problem. People did whatever they want in their own life. But we know a perfect solution. The perfect solution is that we get a king. And the author is thinking, when we get a king, everything is going to be better. When we finally establish a kingdom and we get a king, you know what? I'm sure people are going to behave better, and they're not going to do what is right in their own life. And maybe perhaps that's what we're also thinking as well. Right? As you know, election is coming up. And as election is coming up, maybe we're thinking, man, finally, if he or she or whoever gets elected, you know what? I know that our country is going to go into a better direction. Okay? Maybe. But at the end of the day, no matter who gets elected, our problems will not go away. Especially our problem of sin, it will not go away. There is no human king or president or no economic system that can solve the issue of sin. But the writer of Judges is actually very right. Right? We do need a king. We need a king who can solve our issues of sin. Right? We need a king who can solve the issue of corruption. We need a king who understands our pain and our hurts. Right? We need a king who cares for us, who cares for the widows, who cares for the orphans. We need a king who can forgive us and who can save us. And thankfully, we do have that king. Right? We have that king in our King, Lord Jesus, in Jesus Christ. When we read the book of Judges, again, this book is talking about a Savior, a human Savior that comes, and he delivers his people from the cycle of sin. But the only one that can deliver us from the cycle of sin, and the only ultimate judge that we have, is in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the ultimate King. Jesus Christ is the ultimate Savior. So my prayer is this. If there's anyone here in this room that may not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you know what? I want you to know that Jesus Christ is there for you. He came, He gave His life for us, and He died on the cross. Why? So that through Him, that we could be saved and become a child of God. Amen? Let's pray. Father God, we come before you, and God, again, we want to thank you, Lord, for your word. And God, we want to thank you, Father God, for the past couple months that we spent in the book of Judges. And God, we confess, Father God, just like in the book of Judges, that many times in our own life, God, we do what is right in our own life. Instead of following you, God, so many times, God, we follow the patterns of the world. And God, we place our hope, our trust upon people, upon economic systems, upon our job, upon our education, upon our relationships. But But Lord, instead of placing our hope, God, in the things of the world, God, would you help us, God, to instead to place our hope in you, our King, our Lord Jesus Christ. God, we thank you, Lord, that indeed, God, that you are our ultimate King, that you are our ultimate judge, that you are our ultimate deliverer. So again, God, I pray that you help us, Father God, to live a life, God, that is worthy of the call of the gospel. God, wherever we go, wherever we are, God, would you help us, God, to live as salt and light. And God, I pray for those people here that may not know who you are. God, would you convict their hearts today? And God, would you allow them, God, to surrender themselves to you? And to say, God, that I am a sinner in need of a Savior, Jesus Christ. And God, I pray, Father God, that today, that they will surrender themselves to you. God, we thank you for who you are. We love you and we pray. Amen. Let's all stand.